There you go. And start
And the only people can talk. I want them to just listen only in public. There's no public participation.
Okay, got it.
And he should be able to pop in shortly there. And it'll go on the right-hand side there, it'll say attendees. It'll go from 0 to, hey, there we go. So he's over there. So go over to the attendees. The 3 dots over there. Get that.
Am I headed toward the desk or have I gone back around again?
You're gonna go right down that hallway.
Close that.
Yeah.
Promote the panels.
I'll show you. It's going right.
And allow to talk. There we go. There's Arby. He's here. And he can say, hey, Arby, can you hear us?
I could. Can you hear me?
Hey, this is John, by the way.
Hey, John. How are you, John?
I'm just here for technical support. They're using our office today. I'll send you an email later about something else.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, so as long as you can hear and see us, you're good.
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys are being recorded. You guys are ready to go.
Okay, Arby, you're up first. We're gonna get you in and out of here. We have 2 properties that we're gonna talk about, you wanna,
Yeah, hi, Arby, my name is Emma Dignati. I'm just going to administer an oath to you first.
Okay.
So I can't see you, but can you raise
Yeah.
your right hand?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out how to turn it on because for some reason this works a little differently than my other times that I've used Zoom. But I am raising my right hand. How do I connect the
Okay.
video?
Do you solemnly swear and affirm under penalty of perjury to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. So go ahead, Steve, whenever you're ready, just let me know which property you want to start with.
okay, Arby, we'll do, we'll do 5, Movoy.
Yes.
Okay, so we have an assessment right now of, I believe it's, I don't have it. She has the assessment.
Is it?
Yeah, it might be in the front of that one.
In the
There we
back.
go. Let's grab this one sheet.
No, it's, you grab the assessment. Should be in the back. So $11,100. And you say you haven't received any notices regarding this?
Yeah, I mean, so the last community, I think there was something, if you, the last thing that I had gotten from you, and I get all your emails, so anytime I get anything from email from you, I've been getting it, but none of the other notices except whatever you email me. And I think the last thing, and I don't know if this goes back to last year or something, but there was something with a property on Flag, so I think the tenant was growing stuff out of the sidewalk, and you and I exchanged some emails, and then I believe we either had a conversation or an email about it, and he said, nothing was really moving forward with Mulvoy. I've had a couple of meetings with the head of planning and zoning. My architect and I we're drawing up plans to demolish the site and then do something else with the space that's there. So it's pretty much vacant. I have some tenants that park there in the back, but it's a vacant structure that is going to be demolished in the next 1 to 2 months, I think, at least. I've had a couple of bids on from demolition companies to knock it down, but But I didn't think the fines or all this stuff was moving forward, and this $11,000 numbers. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So
Okay, now, what about, see now, we're doing both properties at once here. The 3 Ely, is that going to be demolished as well, or give us a,
3 Ely's is not going to be demolished as far as it doesn't look like it. No, I mean he's drawing something for the one next door for 6 Mulvoy, which is the house next to the corner building. But the corner building on Ely is not going to be demolished. It will be renovated. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed with it. That's a new one. When you mentioned, I think on one of the emails that there was something across the street or something. So I've gotten absolutely nothing on that one in terms of like what the blight division,
yeah,
what you
well,
guys are looking for.
I didn't find out till recently, until that email, that you actually own both properties.
Right.
So
Okay.
there are 2 different mailing addresses and 2 different names.
It is, yeah,
associated.
2 different entities. Yes.
Right. Do you have plans in with zoning at all, or?
Not for that one. For the one we had 2 meetings, so we thought we had an approvable plan or a plan that was good up until about, I think 2 weeks ago. We had a meeting with Steve Kleppen, and that was the week after, I guess. We had parking requirements met in the previous plan, but there were some other things they wanted changed. And then, they had told us that parking wasn't required, so we downsized the parking. And then I think the week before the meeting, on the subsequent meeting, they said the mayor's office had reinstated parking requirements. So we're going back to, the initial plans with the changes that they wanted. So we've had meetings. We haven't, nothing's been. That's the furthest we've gone with it. So we thought we had an approvable plan until we were informed that the parking requirements were put back on to into a particular zone.
Okay, so you're assessed at a little bit less for 3 Ely, you're at $10,750 at this point. What's the plan on that building?
So I haven't seen what I know there's some
You haven't
broken
been
glass.
down there at all?
No, of course I've been down there.
All right, so your problems over there are, I'm sorry, we're jumping back and forth from property to property, but it's all pretty much one entity. So, you have broken windows, you have graffiti,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
have some stuff
the
in the
broken windows.
alleyway. Behind the building, you have some outdoor storage of junk. What are the recent pictures from today?
These.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. Let's go with 3 Ely. You have 3 Ely? All right, so basically you have broken windows, you have graffiti all over the place over there. Can we get that taken care of?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. If you have those pictures, I mean, I know where the graffiti is. I think they did it, in the alleyway that goes to the back. We had cleaned something like 6 months ago, or maybe sometime last summer, and I think it seems to make its way back there for relatively consistently. So we'll clean it up again. There was some stuff in the back of the building. The back where the only thing I can think of is, I know there's a little shed that we store, we put in the garbage cans.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you mean in terms of storage, but whatever you want done for that one, we'll do it. It's not, this is
Do you have tenants upstairs?
yeah, there's that one is occupied. There's one store that's occupied, the barber shop, but the rest of the stores are currently vacant.
Right, okay, so.
So you didn't receive notice on either of these, you're saying?
The Mulvoy, I've received the emails from Steve. Ely, I've received 0 notices. It was the last, I don't know, maybe it was a couple weeks ago or maybe something we were, and then he said, he mentioned Ely on, I don't know if it was a phone, I think it might have even been, I called the last time that was scheduled. I spoke to, I don't know if his name is Brandon or something, and he mentioned, and I was like, well, that one, that's completely, totally new. I've not seen any, I figured they were looking up, about the windows or something else, but it was not, I had not seen a single thing on Ely, on 3 Ely.
Okay, because so that's I just recently found out that you own both properties. I did not know that. So
Right.
that's the reason why it was mentioned.
Yeah,
Because
no,
once-
which makes, I understand.
Right. All right, what we need from you for certain is a proper mailing address where we can send you stuff, not just via email. But we need an address, a concrete address to send you, items like this. So there's no
Sure.
confusion on this.
Absolutely. I'll email, I'll send back, and then what I'll do is I'll be back next week and I'll go to I think you said the assessor's office has the addresses. So I'll update all the addresses with the assessor's offices, or office on both of them. And I will email you an address where you can send all correspondence.
Harvey, as soon as you get that, I want you to come to the building department, code enforcement, and talk to Steve and myself.
Sure.
There could be building violations, what you have down there, which I could assess. So I gotta figure out where to go, and if you're gonna demo, it could be up to a 120-day delay, so if you're intending on having demolition sooner than that, yeah, it could be a surprise to you, so you should be filing intent to demolish on those structures that you intend to demolish. So we have some kind of record of what you're proposing down there, and also let us know who the architect is doing your design work.
Okay, not a problem. I'll come see you guys then the first week of April. I think 3rd is I'll be there.
Can you also give us a mailing address now during the hearing
Sure.
while you're on the
Yeah.
road?
105.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? Can I give you a PO box?
Whatever is a way that you are saying under oath that you can receive mail.
Absolutely.
we'll
PO box 1265. Darien, Connecticut 06820.
Thank you, Harvey. I've been asking for that myself for a little while.
I get all your emails.
I appreciate that. You do respond there. I do appreciate that.
And it's not like I'm trying to be elusive on any of this. I've like anytime anybody's reached out, and Steve's not knowing, I think one of my tenants on Flax Hill was growing stuff out of the sidewalk, and he sent me a complaint notice and sent me a picture, and then that's when the conversation came up about Mulvoy, and he was like, well, right now we're not doing anything, so I didn't. And I, the intentions to demo it, to do a bunch of these things on Mulvoy have been there for probably about 1.5 years. For various reasons, it's been delayed, but the plan on 5 Mulvoy has always been along, the lines of, there's no point in throwing sort of good money after bad. The structures can't really be repaired, and it's not not a functional property, but I've, it's like I said, I'm not trying to be elusive with anyone. The places need to be brought up to modern times anyway.
On the address issue, for the entities that own each of these properties, are you unable to receive mail at the address on file with the Secretary of State for each of those entities?
So 5 Mulvoy, the entity that's been on the 5 Mulvoy is the incorrect entity.
What's the correct entity?
It's Arush. Hold on, because I think there's Arush Pelham, which was a Connecticut entity, and then the other one is not a Connecticut entity. So I think what I assume is they looked up, because it's the same. Let me just look which one. So it's Arush Holdings LLC instead of Arush Pelham Holdings. The one that has the. Yes, hold on. I'm just looking up just to make sure the correct. So it's ARUSHE Holdings LLC.
Is that an active LLC registered in the state of Connecticut?
It's not registered. It's an out of state entity.
But is it registered as a foreign entity in Connecticut?
It should be. I'll double check. It was when the property was purchased. I'll make sure it's up to date with the filings.
And what about 3 Eli, the address on file? for
That one is
property?
that one is Sono Ely LLC. SONO
Right,
Ely. Yeah, that one
And
is a
is-
Connecticut LLC.
and does that LLC have an accurate mailing address on file with the Secretary of State's office where you can receive mail?
The tax card. I'm just looking at the tax card. Does not have the right mailing address. I'll double check with the Secretary of State filings. I'm not 100% sure.
What is the right mailing address for that one?
The PO Box 1265.
Okay,
Same one for both.
okay.
I mean, my suggestion is that we waive the fine for now, but if the building isn't demolished, then something needs to happen to this.
On 5 Mulvoy? Yeah, I mean, I agree. Obviously, the condition needs to be remedied, and I think that there does need to be some kind of financial component associated with it. But given that there's an issue of notice, I think it's difficult to go back and assess the full fine.
My take would be if vacant property, commercial, what's
Vacant.
per day?
Vacant is 250.
So it'd be $250 a day
Mhm.
if it still occurs. We have no progress.
3 Ely is vacant.
And 3 Ely is also vacant?
He said one store.
No,
is
he has, he
occupied.
has.
No, 3 Eli has 8 residential tenants and
Okay, so if that one's continues, what's the fine on commercial property now?
It's $150 a day.
So that becomes $150 a day, so we'll
Mhm.
institute that automatically. If we don't see progress on the things that we are going to discuss when you come in with your paperwork and sit with us. And talk about filing for an intent to demolish, because that would starts your, in my time frame of, progressing with an improvement of that property. It's been that way for quite a while. It's also, in my periphery as a building official to condemn it. And put that under a different light with a fine per day. So I don't think you want that, so it behooves you to follow up with what you're saying. Pick a date with Steve when you're coming in with your information, and whether you have it or not, come in and sit down. And give us a in-depth game plan of what's gonna take place. Make an appointment for your intent to demolish. So we know what you're saying is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, what you swore to. So help you God.
Sure. No problem. Yeah, the one that I obviously will the Eli Avenue one is the one. So broken glass, and then you want
Alright,
the
so
stuff.
here's what I suggest for 3 Ely is, seeing that you weren't properly notified. We'll start the 30-day process today. You have 30 days to make good on that property, which would be removing the graffiti, fixing any broken windows, making it presentable.
Sure.
And any outdoor junk that's front, back, anything you can see from the road should be cleaned up. And we'll
That's
give you,
fair. I appreciate that.
we'll give you the full 30 days to do that. And
That's
if-
absolutely no problem.
And if it's not remedied,
then we'll start a new, we'll start a
The
fine.
fine goes retro
fine is
today.
retro
Retro,
today.
Okay, that's not a problem.
All right,
And then on Mulvoy, I'll come in and see you guys with an update plan, something, and then proceed with the intent to demolish.
Okay,
Right, and whatever your intention is for the other property you mentioned, an architect was doing something, I believe.
Yes,
So
well,
we
it
wanna
was, so
know-
that,
well, we want to know the full history of both properties and what's taking place.
okay, not a problem.
so shoot me an email and, we'll get together when you get back.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, you're all set then. Thank you,
Yeah.
Arby.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
You too, Arby.
Thank you. Bye.
Is he off?
Yeah, he's off. Still recording, obviously, but I think there's no more participants.
Well, we have,
Well, no, I mean, on there.
Yeah.
I know, I got that.
But are they going to post the recording?
Yes.
yes,
That will be recorded. Yeah, so this will be on YouTube probably, tomorrow or day after.
I just say
So
that
they
because,
they can hear us right now?
Absolutely.
yes, all right.
So if there's nobody up there, then you'd probably want to think, well,
Yeah.
who's here?
you're,
Is this going to be posted?
Yes.
Yes,
It's all recorded
it's a
right now,
public
video,
meeting.
it's all public information.
yes.
This is a public hearing.
We can come up.
Yeah.
You're done.
want
Thank you for waiting.
Guys out there somewhere?
I will.
Yeah. He's got it.
All right. I'll figure it out.
Swear.
Yeah, do you mind raising your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God or effectuate perjury? Okay.
Okay, this is a continuation of a hearing we had on November 19th, I believe. We have the minutes from that hearing. Yeah, these are the minutes. This is what it looked like this morning. And that's the minutes.
Yeah.
Were you on this? property
I
last
was,
time?
yeah.
So you have made some progress.
Yeah.
All right, so the reason why we didn't have the hearings when we set them the last two times, because unfortunately I was in and out of the hospital during that time. So we were unable to just have those hearings. So that just gave you more time to clean the property. And so Matt will be right back in. He'll tell us the condition of the property, because he was out there this morning. You were out there this morning cleaning?
Yeah. I mean,
Trying to get some stuff
I'm
done?
out there every good day now cleaning, and we did the entire side of the house, the front of the house. I'm just working my way back. We have also pulled a lot of stuff from the back, but you know, we still have more to do there.
Right.
And I mean, we're not going to stop until it's completely cleaned up.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, it's obviously
okay, so,
taking me longer than I thought it would. I mean, one, it was difficult to do during the winter.
right,
I also have mobility issues. Which actually go back to about 2021 or 2022, but now it's, you know, much more severe than it was. So it has made it difficult to keep up with things. I'm a single mother. My kids are 12 and 13.
okay. So the original assessment on that date was $6,100, I believe. The current one is 15,000.
Right.
If you add it, because there's still blight exists on the property. But she is making an effort, let's wait till Matt comes in so he can give us a true assessment of what he saw. The current pictures, I believe.
Yeah, they're right there.
Yeah, you have the current ones. These are this is what it
Oh, good, that's wonderful.
was. Some of the ones. Yeah, so
Oh, so it is a lot better,
There's
Yeah,
quite a
it is
bit
lot
done.
better. Yeah.
quite a bit of progress.
We're making progress every day. I mean, it was raining yesterday. I didn't go out there, but like,
This
you know,
is something that, is
but
the
I
key
mean,
to
I've
this.
actually eliminated some other things we have going on, so we can more, you know, prioritize this and spend more time on it
Right,
until we finish.
right.
So,
let's
give them more time.
definitely, I mean, progress is, as long as we see progress, we work with you. We see nothing, then we come
Oh,
at
I'm
you. So
totally
that's where
committed to getting this done.
you are
Clear
making some
progress, yeah.
progress.
Matt was at the property this morning.
I was.
He can give you an overall assessment of,
Definitely work being done, yeah. I think over
Yeah, I
time should
mean,
do a
we
lot,
have-
yeah.
The stuff that's by the garbage cans, actually stuff I'm taking out, you
Yep.
know, that's
Yep.
why I put in there, so
Mhm.
it's not like,
So my
I'm leaving it
suggestion
there.
is, let's do one more month.
in a month.
Is that reasonable for you? You think you can get it done?
you know, I know I like.
I'm not
you
saying
know,
they're
I know-
100% done, as long as we see continual progress.
Yes, there will definitely be continual progress, like,
Because we
you
hate
know,
to put you in
it's
the,
hard for
and-
me to be in that
yeah, but
position
we
where I
hate it to
promise
go
that
to
it's
the
gonna
point
be,
of,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
only
you're
going
let
to
me
get
finish.
better,
We
okay?
hate to go to the point where you're at a $6,000 fine, and then you say I'm starting. So that's something we're gonna talk about after. You keep going and finish. Right now, it's 11,000 and change,
15.
or 15. That can be discussed, but right now, the 6 is solid. Unless we see definite progress, but we don't back down from that. Okay? So you gotta keep going, then we can talk about it after. When we see it 100%. Okay?
All right, so we'll send you another notice in a month, or close to a month. And then we'll be out again to just check the progress and see if you're doing what you said you were gonna do. Because you said it like,
Yeah,
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 in
I mean,
November.
I have a plan now, though, that
Okay.
I didn't exactly have in place before, because I've done some of the work and I've enlisted some help and gotten
Yeah,
ideas
go.
and, you know, I know what dates are, you know, set in, you know, like I know that the, yard debris pickup is happening on April 14th. So I'm, you know, getting ready for that. We already have a lot of stuff we have to, you know, bag and bundle. And, you know, I have, the veterans, the VBA, they're coming to pick up stuff up on April 1st. I don't have that set. You know, and also, I mean, you know, there are things on my property that aren't mine, which unfortunately I got into that situation and I allowed that to happen.
Right. But you still have to, whether it's
And
yours or not.
I have a plan in place
It's gotta
for that
go.
as well, because I'm, you know, going to send 2 letters out considering it abandoned property, and will take my own
Okay.
actions to get rid of it.
Okay?
Mhm.
Because I believe the the complaints for hot and heavy, and that's what we go by, so that's,
Yeah,
but I think it's calmed down a little bit, right?
Yeah, we haven't heard too
Yeah.
much.
Two.
well, and they're gonna see me out there.
No, well, that's what I'm getting at. They see it
Right.
happening and then they
Yes.
stop calling.
Right, right.
So that's the key.
Yeah.
And it's a good time of year now, too.
It's perfect.
to
But
get
you also have to take into effect, how would you feel if that was
No, I
you
don't,
living next to it? You know
no,
what I
we
mean?
don't,
It's
we
a-
don't want that.
you'd
And
be all
you know,
over
I
it.
mean, well, I don't
So-
know. I'm good at ignoring stuff, obviously,
Yeah,
but,
so
you know,
that's why we have to,
you know, but I don't think it's right to have, you know, to like create an eyesore where you live.
I know it. Okay?
You've done good work. Keep it up.
Yeah, keep going.
All right, so
Appreciate
we'll
it.
see you in a month or so.
Okay.
Okay?
And there will be progress, like, you know, I mean, I just don't wanna make promises I can't keep, but I can promise that there will be significant
Well,
progress.
progress is the key, and if there's
Yeah.
something you can't do, you'll let us know, and then we figure out if we can help you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, and that's another thing, like, I guess, you know, with some things you know, you do want, you know, you do need some help with certain things. I mean, you know, I also called, well, I looked on the website, so like, I unfortunately missed the, bulky
Pick up.
Okay.
pickup on March 5th, and I didn't realize that was.
When's it
on
next one,
there.
Steve?
You know,
Do we know?
it's in July. It's gonna be in
Oh,
July.
2 years.
Well, so like I found out that I can call in June, it should be on the schedule for July, so I know this now, and,
Okay.
you know, I'm going to be, you know. And I realize like, you know, yeah, maybe some really heavy items, I don't wanna haul to the dump myself, but you know, we can put them on the curb if you know, if I tell if I, you know, arrange that through.
Yep.
I mean, it's easy now, I realize you call the
Okay.
customer service number, so like, you know, I have everything written down and, you know.
Just
I
keep going,
definitely
that's
have
all
a
I can
plan,
tell you.
So, yeah, exactly.
All right, don't
Right.
stop.
All right. Do you want me to stay or?
No, you're
No,
all
you
No,
can go.
all set.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you.
You'll be hearing from us, that's all.
UNH volleyball, huh?
Yeah, my older son. plays volleyball.
UNH hockey,
Oh, really?
1973, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's a long time ago.
That's amazing.
Long time ago.
Way
I'm
too
gonna tell
long
my
ago.
kids because,
Like
well,
to see
my-
on skates
yeah,
now.
my younger kids,
Huh? I can't, I had to hang them up.
I know you did, you told me already.
my younger kids play hockey and I mean, they're, you know, very into it.
It was an incredible experience.
I bet. So 1973.
Yep. I got 2 years after that.
Right. Thank you.
43 Bow Street.
So we've been sitting over in 122 for
Sorry.
the last half an hour, which is where the notice that we got said for us to go.
My apologies.
No.
Yes, if you don't mind, that'd be great.
We unfortunately couldn't use the equipment in there.
We just went where the notice said.
Yeah, so,
Nobody told us anything until I got up and asked, and I saw you walking down the hall, but I had no idea, I didn't know whether you were a citizen or whatever.
I'm a good citizen.
I had no idea, assume.
Okay, 43 Bow Street. It's a trust.
I'll give you the Cliff's Notes version of everything that has occurred. So,
Are you Attorney Pelletreau? I'm sorry to
I am.
interrupt.
I
Okay,
am the executor, replacement executor for the estate of Dominic Botticelli, formerly known as Dominic Roberto. In addition to which, for years and years and years, you know, I've been practicing law for too long, and we represented Dominic's, when I was with Santinello now, and represented the family.
okay.
That's the original, that's his mother and father's house. So at some point in time, he moves in there, he dies. Actually didn't even know about it for probably 6 months or something. But this is in foreclosure, so just to give you some idea, this is for you, this is the litany of motions and other fodder that the foreclosure attorneys, Brock and Scott, filed on behalf of Wells Fargo. And the reason we didn't know it was in foreclosure, because if you see, are you aware?
I am.
Okay.
Emma Dignati.
Pardon?
Nice to meet you. Emma Dignati
Nice to meet
is
you.
my name.
Emma.
Nice to meet you. I work
Counselor
at
stuff.
Watsy Rosen in Stanford.
You work, you work?
I
in-
do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's there now?
A whole bunch of people.
Oh,
Marshall Goldberg is still there.
Marshall's
Steve
still there?
Brushkin,
Well,
David Cohen.
what about, Dave Cohen?
David
Cohen's still there?
Cohen is still there.
And Stan, Questing.
Ed Quiskin
Ed
is still
Quiskin.
there. He is in the process of retiring, but he is still there.
Yeah, Eddie and Harley's about the same age. Well, in any event. So, you can see the way they noticed the unknown successor trustee is
Yes.
trusted.
I see.
So I had to beg to get in, fight to get into this
Okay,
foreclosure.
and
which
you
did-
are the unknown successor trustee.
But no, now, yes.
How it could be unknown. In any event, we didn't get in till January.
Okay,
So that's for you. can have
thank
that.
you.
And now the bank has numerous times had to reopen this, and their last reopen, they had to reopen for a defendant named Dale Allen, who will be defaulted shortly, I predict. But that's not up to me, that's Brock and Scott.
Sorry, I'm Christine Cassidy.
This is Miss Cassidy, my paralegal, who is handling this file. I'm sorry, I should have.
Nice to meet you. Trustee.
Okay.
I've been really rude. I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I just, like Attorney Pelletreau was saying, as soon as we received our blight notice, dated April 12th, we, forwarded it on to the bank because we had just recently found out that the house was in foreclosure and we've received no cooperation. They haven't really dignified, any of the notices or anything with a response. And as Attorney Pelletro was mentioning, you know, it took us actually filing a motion to cite ourselves in as a defendant to the lawsuit.
So at present time, it appears that, I just came from the house. We just came from over there. All the cars are gone. We had all the cars taken out of there. The last one was the Corvette that was in the yard. That, we had to wait for the ground to freeze. Get that out of there. So that's gone. Someone, we have no idea who, knocked down the garage and took all that away. We don't know who did that. We have no idea. Someone put a tarp on the roof. No idea who did. It's still there. Someone has a lockbox on the side door. Again. You know, I feel like the left out child, but we're just not getting, this is the lockbox on the lock.
Okay,
And now it's not a real estate lockbox.
right,
It's just a lockbox.
right.
I just took that,
Okay,
you know, a half hour before we came here. I have no idea what's going on. So. In addition to which, here's, I think, the really good news. I have two people bidding to buy this property. And they are obviously house flippers, construction people. That's what they're. The appraised value that you see in these foreclosure documents, if you have them, well, I think the last foreclosure was it 595,
535.
535. That would be on Queen for a day. You might get that kind of money. It's worth between 325 and about 350 at best. As I told one guy who's the raccoons moved out. They did.
Got it. In addition to the resident who had been living there at some point, in around January of last year, she had moved out, but she didn't notify our law office to let us know, until around July of 2024, when someone had notified, her that the house was in foreclosure.
And as far as the heirs are concerned, this is very convoluted. There are, five, right, Christine? There's Chelsea, Dominic, and then, no, six, and then the other four, right? So Mr. Roberto had a daughter named Chelsea with a last name Roberto. Then the other,
She was the last occupying.
Correct.
person.
she appeared to be occupying the property there when, I think she
I
lived
met her
there.
at the property when we first lighted it.
Okay, but that was after Dominic died, right? Her father was
Yes,
dead?
her father was dead.
Okay, so she never came to us until probably you came around, but in any event. And there's five other children that for a variety of reasons wound up, adopted out. Mom couldn't take care of him when dad went for a vacation upstate. And, so we have, there's heirs. And the properties, there's gonna be something left over, hopefully, from the foreclosure. The bank, the debt to the bank is probably, I'm just guessing, but 165, right? About right. And then whatever the costs for the committee and are, so there'll be some money left, hopefully for the heirs. Four of them have said they don't want anything, of course, until such time as there's a check. Now that works.
Is there a will?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I drew the will
Okay,
and back in the 90s or early 2000s, I think.
There was an issue as well with the probate and, opening the estate because, the original named executor did not want, did not want to be executor. And, there was some question as to whether or not Mr. Botticelli was still married at the time of his death. and whether or not his alleged wife, who lives in Colombia, would be willing to participate in the probate process. So the probate court had kind of continued, Attorney Pelatro's appointment until they had heard or not heard back from, his purported wife.
Got it.
So, and that even complicates it further, because evidently it was a valid marriage.
And yeah, we heard it, yeah.
Okay.
But he was married after the will was done. You
Mhm.
know, that and technically voids the will,
Right.
but the probate court found that we weren't gonna void the will because they didn't really want anything, and we have had radio silence. We did have, wasn't she on a call from Colombia one day?
No, we've been communicating, via email and using Google Translate and with me, another paralegal in our office is
We,
speaking.
we have.
Okay.
So that's where we are. If Brock and Scott can foreclose out Miss Allen, she's the last defendant. I can then make a motion to reopen, sell the property, get cash. And the people who are buying the property, there are two different groups. Both of them are going to completely rehab, probably put it on the market for $700,000 or $800,000.
Now, the demolition, we have no idea who. So that's a violation of the state statute, which I'd have to enforce. I guess to the bank, because they're the,
You got me. I mean, as far as the ownership,
no, but I mean, that's what, Stephen, is that what you have now?
What's that?
The bank? You're
Yeah.
dealing with?
Yeah, I'm looking for the email right now.
Brock and Scott,
Attorney Generis.
They came in and they started cleaning the property because they were able to because it was vacant. And, but the property, as far as we were concerned, was remedied at one point, but then I'll show you let me find it.
they're denying to me that they did anything. That's their official word, unless you've got something that.
I'll tell you what it was. Lynn Ward, I think. That's not you, Lynn Ward? Okay, so. All right, so they were on the property. Stephen, please see attached photos of the patio cover removal. Thank you so
That's it.
much. Hope you have a nice Tuesday. So. they- on
It's
the
back in
property.
October.
So.
Yeah.
At that point,
So these are the series of pictures, not to cut you off.
No, that's
just,
okay, I
so we can
apologize.
look, so we can all be, this is what the back of the house looked like at one point. It doesn't look like that anymore, and they showed all the stuff being taken away. So that's what it looked like when we got there, you know?
Well, the cars were there?
There were a bunch of cars, yeah.
There were three,
Yeah,
one in the street, one in the
Yes.
yard, and one in the driveway, right?
Yeah.
They're all gone. We got the one in the street and the one on the driveway out last fall.
looks like the same pictures over and over again.
Yeah.
All right, so let me show you some.
They gotta be the ones that put that box on there.
Yeah, for sure.
I can send you that information of who contacted me.
I actually think you did send it to us.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So let's see, let's go through the series of pictures here. This was last week, right?
Yeah.
So this is the doorway.
Mhm.
That's. So they must have, they gotta be responsible for that.
Mhm.
Show you some pictures of it. like somewhat cleaned up.
Yeah, we were over there at the end of the summer, the early fall, they would. So they had to put the tarp on.
That car was
Yeah,
removed
the
on,
tarp wasn't there original.
No,
that Corvette was removed on Monday of last week. That was it, yeah.
Yeah, so this part is gone, right? No, oh, well, that's the garage.
that's the garage,
Mhm.
that's gone.
That's gone.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that. did that.
Correct.
Yeah,
So the bank did that.
so
Mm-hmm.
not ideal, but not. Borderline blight right here, but it's not, it's satisfied. So at one point, they did clean the property. So if you look at this picture here, there's nothing really in the driveway anymore. You really can't see the side of the house.
Back
But the
in,
garage.
The only
is
one
still
that's complaining is the neighbor.
that's back in
immediate
twenty
neighbor.
twenty-three too.
Right.
Yeah.
So he can see, from,
there. You mean Andy?
Yeah.
Did you approach that neighbor and see if he had
it's
any,
Andy Garfunkel.
It's Andy Garfunkel.
yeah,
Yeah.
if he has any recollection of when that garage came down and by who?
Well, I had the email.
It came
I
down by
can
the
forward
bank.
that email.
Oh, the bank, okay, so
Yeah,
I'll
the
go
bank.
after them,
The bank's the one.
I'll go after them.
So they're the ones that looks like, maybe. clean
But the
put
property's
the
not
lock
too
on.
bad now. I don't know when the last time you were. Now that the cars are all gone, the only thing left, that driveway somebody broke a bunch of glass in
Right,
there.
and
And in one, if you're walking down the driveway, it's on the left-hand side against the house side. And then,
I think when they pulled the car out, the Corvette, they they ripped out a tree too, like a bush.
yeah, I
It's kinda
took a
just
picture of
laying-
that
yeah,
this
it's kinda
morning.
Laying there.
Yeah, like I said, we had to wait for the ground to thaw, but, no, I took these pictures this morning.
And the
They're-
tarp is, considered blight. Especially loose fitting like that.
The tarp is where the
Here.
garage used to be?
Here's,
The tarp is over
no,
the
the
whole
tarp
house.
is over the roof here.
Oh, okay, okay.
You can see, you can see where a gate, they made a gate to pull the car out of there,
Yeah.
the cedars. And they're cedars, so they'll probably.
Yeah, he was out.
Yeah, we took these this morning.
No problem.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay. That's some trash. Yeah.
so actually, that's the best the property's looked in a while. Right? Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is
it's not ideal. but-
I mean, the garage is gone, which,
illegally, that's one.
well, you couldn't do enough bad things to Wells Fargo to make me happy.
Is that the bank? That's Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And this was this morning? Yeah, well.
Yep.
Well, technically, it's still blighted, I mean.
yeah, I mean, well, there's tarp on the roof and
And a bunch of trash.
It's really not too much. I mean, it's probably
It's true.
two garbage cans.
That's
Right, they should keep working.
Yeah, keep going, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think that lady made more progress than they did, poor thing was here before.
she got any money at all paying for a kid to go to UNH.
Shit, no, she didn't have some that old, I didn't quite get it.
I think there's an older child that we're still recording.
I think, yeah.
Oh, there's a,
so the assessment currently is 21,600. That's minus the 900 that you requested. And this is at $100 a day, not 150, by the way. So,
I mean, I think that with the property in active foreclosure, we should probably get our lien recorded.
yep,
I agree.
Well, if you do that, you're just gonna delay the foreclosure again. That's, I don't
Let
care.
that
I'm
put a
not-
law department, not up to us.
Right.
Our
That's right.
recommendation to them is to lean.
Right.
Then we reached our max.
Right,
That's all we could do is say, here's where we're at, you do what you have to do.
that's right, that's their decision, yeah.
No,
We did that on Lindquist and it worked
Mhm.
out, and they said the same
Mhm.
thing, but it worked out.
Mhm.
oh, it will work out. It'll just take longer because it'll be another defendant.
Yeah,
It'll have to be noticed and go through all, that's, but, you know,
that's up to them, I mean, not us, we're just gonna, we take to a certain point and then
Yeah,
they take over
that's right,
with every
that's right.
property, so.
So we'll sign an assessment on this and we'll get it up to the law department.
Let them make the decision how far.
Mhm. And the fines continue to accrue, right, until the
Correct.
violation
Until it's
Correct.
is
right.
corrected, yeah. Okay.
And if for some reason they clean it up and it reoccurs. With the new statute, fines are more money,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
it would take,
I see, that would start over,
right, but at a higher rate,
150, right?
yes.
Yes. So the reason why it's at 100 is when we first initially contacted,
Right,
it was not, the new ordinance hadn't passed
right,
yet.
this is grandfathered. Right. So the amount is 21,800, you said?
21,600.
21,600.
Anyway. The fine should be, as it's not, there's nobody living there. So the new fine will be.
Now we'll leave it where it is for now, you started
Yeah, for
at the
now,
100,
yeah,
you stay there.
right,
Yeah.
I have to calculate the garage demolition where that
Yeah,
comes into effect.
all right, I think, we're all set.
Thank you.
You guys are all set. Do you want me to send you a copy of that email?
We
we
have.
already have it.
Thank you
already
very
did.
much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you already gave it.
Nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for your time.
Did we end the Zoom?
Is there,
Who are you zooming with?
It's just being recorded.
You
It's
zooming?
just us.
Take care, have a good
Take
day.
care.
Right.